And just gonna take this, put this on here, that going. What's up, yo? You know what? I'm gonna hold it. Welcome to the show. I took a couple of days off on here. Just been living life and chilling. Dropped the album actually, so yeah. Um, Doing a little bit of promotion and relaxing. Just took a trip with Sheba to New York. Very quick one to celebrate the landmark and to do some stuff. She's working on some awesome stuff that you can get into it if you follow her page. She talks a bit more about some of the stuff she's into. But it was a good productive weekend and a dope 1 day trip. So we back, yo. And I wanted to talk about I want to talk about life again. I want to keep going, yo. We've been talking about a lot of stuff, God and philosophy. And I wanted to talk about shifting the game. I said in a couple episodes ago, I think the title is What Game Are You Playing? And I think I did it for 2 episodes. What game are you playing? Two. And I talked about the game that I believe I'm playing. I talked about how life is a game and how the game is so complex and thorough and deep and vast and wide, and that you're so brilliantly capable that you get to choose. You're not only playing a game, but you get to choose the parameters of the game. You get to choose the rules and the values and the boundaries and the goals and the levels of the game. It's that brilliant. And that we all sort of inherit, though. We inherit these things. We inherit the levels and the values and the all of these premises, the parameters of the game. We inherit them. We're given them by our parents and our community elders and the people in our, social circle. And that's what this whole thing, the question of authenticity, comes back to a realization that you are the operant power in the game, and that those inherited narratives, those inherited value sets, those inherited assumptions about the parameters of the game, that those are not as real as they feel, and that you can mold the game in such a way that favors you and so that you can't fucking lose. You know what I mean? So if we're shifting the game today, last time I said it was probably about 2 weeks ago. I did the episode where I said, as I see it, the game that I'm playing is I'm freeing myself up. I'm saying everything that I've ever wanted to say. I'm going to challenge myself to be as honest and as clear-headed and whatever I used to call controversial, to step into that. All these places that seemed as places of fear, political or, cancelable type stuff, like to know that again, I'm the operant power, that my worldview and my perspective and the words that I give to reality, that they are just and appropriate and good and worth saying and valuable, giving myself that power back. And so that was the game. I spent quite some time, noticing points of fear in my life, noticing the political climate and things that I wanted to post, things I wanted to share or repost, and these moments when I got scared and I wouldn't post it, or I would think twice about it, and I would register that. I wouldn't allow that to just disappear. I would register for myself that something's there. Something is what is that? What stops me from saying what I know? You know what I'm saying? And so the game I was playing was freeing myself up and saying, speaking, articulating, posting that thing that I'm nervous about posting, noticing actually that fear orientation was made up. It was a construct in my mind. It was a set of assumptions in my mind. Once I stepped into it, and over time, doing it over and over, becoming familiar with that, challenging all of that, it dissipates, it disappears. I'm freer than I thought. I'm powerful. Oh shit, I'm no longer fearful about that space, actually, right? So that was the game. That was the game for a long time for me. And I think it's reaped a lot of powerful fruit for me. And it's made me a better person. It's made me a stronger person, a freer person, and it's freed me up creatively. And in, my ability to articulate truth, to articulate what is, to articulate my worldview. Okay. But the game has shifted even further, right? I have that power to shift, to behave, to see the world differently, and to engage differently. And I think where I'm at now, I know where I'm at now is just the game for me is gratitude, Joe. The game for me is gratitude. And I want to posit that for for anybody watching, you know what I'm saying, the chosen people who watch this and understand that, we constantly come to really powerful truths here on this show. And the game is gratitude. And it's weird how gratitude sits underneath the previous game. The previous game about speaking freely, like nothing changes there actually. But I'm now, my intention is just slightly different. My intention is just slightly different. And I still have the power to speak freely, and I still have the intentions and the value of my free speech. I'm just a wider person now. I'm more free than I was when I first started the game. And so from gratitude, though, I realized that every moment is now. It is the only thing that exists, that time is a construct, that it's all one thing, right? It's the culmination of everything we've been talking about. So I'm alive right now, and I'm conscious, and I have, free will and perspective. And I'm so lucky that I can, see the world as I do and think as I do and articulate the things that I do the way that I can. And so, yes, I want to continue speaking freely, and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful. That's the game I'm playing, is gratitude. And it's a really interesting, tricky kind of game, because as your conditions change, your gratitude can go up and down. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on in this world right now. There's a lot of reasons for us to look out and to see things that are problematic, and to feel, what I'm saying, downtrodden about it, to feel attached to these acts of violence, to see all the political machinery too, the manipulation and the the abuse of language, in the political space. It can rob you of your gratitude. But when I remember that gratitude, or the way I define it, is really, it's a refining of the vision. Like, we're all looking at the same things. You know what I'm saying? Some of us will come away feeling despondent and feeling hopelessness and despair. Others will come away seeing hope, seeing a potential, seeing a thin and narrow path. You know what I'm saying? And like, being willing and willing and able to see that, it requires gratitude. That comes from gratitude. It refines the vision. I am reminded that not everyone even knows that they're playing a game. And then even if they know that they're playing a game, they might unwittingly, they might choose a game that it seems everybody is playing. The hustle game, the get the bag game. Need to find a hustle and have 3 hustles and do 3, 4, 5 things, and that's the game. And you just grind and try to, make it through the capitalism thing. And that produces a kind of person. And I've been through that. I've talked about this on this show, that like, I've spent years in that mindset. I chose that game and engaged in it and excelled at it, but also realized that I needed to grow from that. I needed to choose new parameters, because it was draining. It was tiresome. It was a grind. The word grind is accurate. That was me. Other people are playing other games. There are other people who have no clue that they're playing games. I said in an episode a couple weeks back that a guy I went to college with, I played football with, a white guy, he reached out to me and just started on a racist tirade. Started talking about chimping out, and you have to appreciate, don't shit where you eat, like random stuff that didn't even make sense to me. He was replying to something angrily. This is a guy who's he's a MAGA guy. He's a big fan of Donald Trump. And he's a big fan of all the rhetoric right now, the Fox News rhetoric, which wants to tell you that you have to, that white men are in danger and all this stuff, and everything's a threat and all this stuff. And he's a perfect example of someone who doesn't know that we're playing a game and that he can choose the game. He's receiving a set of values. He's receiving a narrative. He's receiving an entire framework for the world. He believes, outside of, when he steps out into the world, he sees constantly threats from the left and all this thing. And that's the game. It's a left versus right game. And he's ready to fight. Let me tell you what, after that, I posted about this. I did a video about the racist tirade that he did, and I blocked him. I blocked him on Facebook. And somehow, I don't know, he tagged me again. So I don't really know what the blocking system is entirely, how it works, but he tagged me on a video of, what was it, in the WNBA? There was a black player who um, kind of did a hard foul on this white girl, Caitlin, a MAGA white player. And he tagged me on it and he said, race war, come on. I swear to God, this is what he tagged me on. He said, let's do it, race war. And, you know, if we really went down to it, I'm sure he would say that he's joking. You know what I'm saying? But this is by now a kind of harassment. It's really annoying. I had to tell a mutual friend of ours, like, yo, tell this dude to stop playing with me because I'm not on his level. You know what I mean? And when I say I'm not on his level, I mean that like sincerely. I mean his approach to life is confused. His sources for information, his sources for what is normal and what is possible are people who hate him. Fox News, Daily Wire, Benny Johnson, Matt Walsh, you know, Prager. Some of these guys, this is where he gets a sense of what reality is, and he doesn't know that he can actually choose. He's just a recipient of words and narratives and frameworks, threats, goals. you know, and I have to deal with this. I have to engage with this confused, low vibration, low intelligence, low awareness. You know, um, we all do. This is the condition, and this is why I've been so interested in the media for so long, because I realize, as I've said, that these corporations are injecting entirely different realities in the heads of different people. These separations, these buzzwords, they're built up on a vernacular of buzzwords of the left and the right, and Biden and Trump. Anything that's bad, Trump will say Biden did this, and vice versa. Trump is also a boogeyman for a certain group, and but we can't. When you realize the depth of what language is and what words are, what we've been talking about psychology and separation, you realize that it's very important for you to take control of your identity, of your language, and to be aware of the game that you're playing. To be aware of, at the very least, aware of the game that you're playing. Then when you're aware of the game that you're playing, when you really get there, you'll be able to shift the game that you're playing. You're not just receiving the game that your father played or that your uncles played or that your religious leader played or your political leader or your identity leader played. You're not just a robot who, shifts into gear to start lying for your identity group or start lying for your political affiliation or whatever. You shift the game. You find joy. You find joy in the moment, in what is. And that's what we're building here. We're building a nervous system, a grounding in oneself, a genuineness and authenticity that is so powerful and grounding that the stories don't work on you. You're building a connection to God and to oneness that is so powerful that the separations and the anxieties don't work on you. The light just came out. They don't work on you, right? You don't, because whatever's going on with that guy, he starts from a place of lack. He starts from a place of like ill at ease personally. And then he looks out into the world and he only has the language that he has. He only has the language given to him by the people that he watches, from the community that he engages with. He only has that language. And so he spits this vile stuff. And you wonder where it's coming from. You wonder why. He just randomly showed up in my inbox talking about chimping out, stuff he got from Jake Lang and these other like public racists. So for me, I've shifted the game. I have gratitude even for him, right? Even for this guy, because he's a contrast for me. He's an example of what is. It's not the kind of love. So I love what is. It's not the kind of love that I was like a typical. I was a little bit confused with that, like love your enemies and shit like this. It's not a love like I love my mom or I love Sheba or I love like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you exist. Okay, that's possible, right? Because what we're existing, we're all projections of consciousness. And he actually proves the work and validates the work that I've been talking about for years now. He validates the problem of media literacy and identity and groupthink and language, and he's a contrast of like what it means to not be healed. He demonstrates the case, you know what I mean? So for me, it's gratitude. It's just gratitude. And I get to play the game and I get to choose the parameters and the value set. And through gratitude, I have a refined vision. Like I don't see problems the same way he might see problems and other people see problems. I don't see problems the same way. I see opportunities. I see space for, you know what I'm saying, like engagement. Because I'm not just a recipient of shit. And I'm in tune with myself. And I found peace. And I'm connected to my own sovereignty to shift the game. So I'm grateful for weird interactions like the one I had to endure. I'm grateful for the beautiful interactions and the friends and the people I know. I'm grateful that I can wake up and do these episodes. I'm grateful that I can do the music that I can make and the lyrics that come to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm very grateful for it. So check it out. Check out the rest of my YouTube page and check out the most recent album, One True King. It's basically, I'm so proud of it. It's basically a rundown of a ton of the stuff we talk about on this show about God and about identity and about the process and about love. And it's all in hip hop form. And it's quite brilliant. Yes, indeed. So, oh my, what the? We got a lot of bugs out here, yo. Okay, that's the episode. I'll see you tomorrow. Shift the game. Shift the game. Gratitude. Gratitude shifts the whole game. Holy shit. Later.